Welcome to Visualize Yourself to Wealth. Before we get started with this exciting course, I always say the same thing to each and every one of my students, which is make sure you have a pen and paper out. I know a lot of us right now have our iPads, we have a tablet of some type, we might even have our phone with a note app. But I always recommend at least the very first time you run through, at least the very first time that we go through Visualize Yourself to Wealth, I highly motivate and highly encourage everyone, make sure you actually have a physical pen and an actual piece of paper or a journal of some type. And the reason why is because you could look at so many studies online or so many studies you could read in different periodicals, and they always talk about there just is a difference between writing notes and typing notes or taking notes on your phone or visually learning. They say that you only remember 7% of what you hear and see. If you are just visually watching a video, or if you're visually watching a play, or whatever you're watching a movie, we don't remember every funny part of a movie. In fact, if you ask a lot of people if they just saw a comedy, let's say, oh, what was your favorite part? Did you like the comedy? And they always say, oh, I love it, it was so funny. Oh, what was your favorite part? Name me 10 of your favorite parts. And a lot of times they can only really name 1, 2, or 3 of the funny parts of the movie, even though the whole movie for an hour and a half to 2 hours, they were dying of laughter, their stomach hurts. And the reason why is just because we can only remember and retain only so much information. And then new studies show that nowadays, because we're so used to typing and we're online and we're always on the go, people aren't writing as much anymore. And they realize that people aren't able to remember as much as they used to, even though they claim and even though they say they still took notes, the people who physically write them remember more information versus people who type it. And it's a really interesting study, so I really recommend at least the very first run through of Visualize Yourself to Wealth. Make sure you have your pen and you have your paper, because we're gonna go over a plethora amount of information. We're gonna go over a cornucopia amount of information. We're gonna go over a lot of information that I know each and every single one of us within this course of Visualize Yourself to Wealth, you're going to love it. So I hope you guys are ready. Welcome to Visualize Yourself to Wealth.